find the Roof tool in the Architecture tab. First, select the type for your roof. Second step is to set the correct level and offset. Then, draw the roof limits using boundary lines. Click the green check to complete. Then Roof Tips. Tip number 1. Remove slope to create flat roof. To create a flat roof, make sure the Define Slope in the option bar is inactive for all boundary lines. Tip number 2. Activate Slope to create a sloped roof. To have a slope, select all boundary lines and activate the slope in the option bar. You don't have to activate the slope on every boundary line. If you remove the slope from 2 of the lines, you will get a gable roof. Tip number 3. Modify properties to adjust roof slope. Click on the roof and change the angle in the slope properties. You can also use the arrow on the 3D view to manually adjust the slope. Tip number 4. Modify each line to get a regular slope. You want an odd shaped roof? You have to edit roof boundary and change the slope angle for each individual boundary line. Tip number 5. Activate Overhang on picked walls roofs. Use pick walls if you want the roof to automatically adjust when walls are moved. You can set an overhang on roofs created with pick walls. Select each boundary line and set a value in Properties or in the option bar. Tip number 6. Add vertical or bi-face openings. The vertical opening will always be cut in a vertical way, whatever roof slope is. The biface opening type creates an opening that is perpendicular to the slope of the selected face. Simply draw a boundary on the selected face. Tip number 7. Use shape editing to create a flat roof slope. When a roof is selected, shape editing tools appear in the contextual tab. Use the add point and click somewhere in the middle of the roof to create a low point. Then, use modify sub-elements to change the value of that point. Set a negative value to make it lower. As you see, the slope lines are automatically created. Tip number 8. Use Reset Shape in the Roof Contextual tab to go back to a perfectly flat roof. Tip number 9. Set variable material for slope insulation. By default, the whole roof will be sloped. Go to Edit Material in the roof type, then check Variable Material for the insulation. As you see, the bottom of the roof is now flat and only the insulation and materials above have a slope. Tip number 10. Add fascias and gutters. When clicking the Roof sub-menu, you have access to fascia and gutter tools. Click on the edge of a roof to add one of these elements. 5 advanced roof tips. Number 1. Set cutoff level to cut roof horizontally. In the properties, set a cutoff level to cut the roof horizontally. This can be used to create a gambrel roof or other roof type where the slope is interrupted. Tip number 2. Use roof by extrusion for weird roof shape. First, set an horizontal work plane. Then, draw the profile line of the desired roof. That line represents the top of the completed roof. Click the green check and your curved roof is now complete. Tip number 3. Join roofs and add opening to create a dormer. First step is to model the required walls and roof. Then, use the Join On-Join Roof tool in the Modify tab. Click on the dormer edge, then click the main roof to complete the join. Now go to Architecture tab and select the Dormer Opening tool. Click on the main roof, then click on all the required walls and roof to create the edges. Click the green check to complete the opening. As you can see in the section, our dormer is now complete. Tip number 4. Use Slope Arrow for odd shaped roof. You will find the Slope Arrow tool while editing the boundaries of a roof. Draw the arrow parallel to how you want your slope. Then set the level at the tail and at the head of the arrow. The whole roof will adjust to this slope. Tip number 5. Select cut type for sloped roof. There is 3 different settings to adjust the end of a sloped roof. Go to Properties and in the Rafter Cut parameter, choose between plumb, 2-cut plumb or 2-cut square. When choosing a 2-cut type, you can adjust the fascia value.